everybody? We back on the radar, man. And I got a very special guest today. His album just dropped today. Kota The Friend, what's up, bro? Everything out now.
Yes, sir. It's
Man,
out.
I love this album. And for a few reasons. One, because I feel like your blend of music is like it's like, you know, when people watch those lo-fi hip hop streams like to study to, that's like
Yeah.
your music is like that, but like a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Like your music has like the substance to it, and I really love what you did with this project. And I told you I was gonna start this interview off with a weird question about the project, but when I was listening to it, I kept hearing like these bird noises, and
Yeah.
like I feel like in multiple tracks, and like I hear like I'm pretty sure I hear those bird noises when I wake up in the morning. So like I'm listening to this at like 10 in the morning. I'm like, I keep taking my headphones off. I'm like, yo, these birds loud as shit. Like what the fuck is this? And then like I ran back the interlude. I have it right here, the 7 interlude, and like I was like, oh, okay, I'm not bugging. These birds actually are like popping up in the project. So I know this is a weird question, but why the hell you got these bird noises everywhere in the project? Like, what's the reason behind that?
Well, one thing is like I love the sound of birds in the morning. You know what I mean? Like it's for me, it puts me in a very like peaceful state, you know? And that's kind of where I wanna I usually add texture to every song that I have. Like in BQE, I added like the sound of like a highway, you know what I mean? Because that's the BQE, you know what I'm saying? Like so that's where I want to take you on that track. And on multiple tracks, I added like different bird sounds. You know what I mean? So some of them are like the birds at night. You know, some of them like are like the birds during the day or in the morning. And some tracks I have like walking on a city sidewalk. You know, because I want to kind of take you to this place. You know, whatever track it is, I want to take you there. You feel me?
Bro, that shit was really tripping me out for a while. I hope you know that. Like the whole time, I was like, bro, like I know. When you did those things, did you like go to your roof in New York and you was like, all right, let me hold like the speaker up to get like the bird noises, or I know these are weird questions, but this is like something that like I kept thinking about every time I listened to it.
I think for one of the tracks, it's actually a real recording. Like I was literally just like, I opened the window, and I think that morning I was hearing just, you know, I was hearing some roosters and like some like just regular birds, and just it was the city. And so I just put my phone up to record, you know what I mean? And I just added in later, you know?
I love that.
So,
And so this
yeah.
project, I feel like you're reflecting a lot on it, you know what I'm saying? And the interludes add a lot to you know, to a lot of the things you're talking about. But we'll get to those in a second. So like explain to me like the concept behind everything.
Well, the whole idea was I wanted to make a album that was completely feel good, you know? Like because I feel like there's always just so much going on, and honestly, it's just timely that this coronavirus is happening in quarantine. But I wanted to make an album full of just like good vibes, like not to sound like a cliche, but every song is really an upper. You know, there's no downers on it on the album, and at the same time, I wanted to really hone into like what is everything to you, like what means everything to you, and it's a very inclusive uh conversation, you know? It's like because everybody has something that means everything to them, you know? Everybody has those things. It's like I can't live without this. I need this to stay happy, to stay motivated, you know? And so whereas Photo only had one rap feature, which was Saba, this one has multiple features and interludes with multiple people, because it's less just personal to me and it's more about us, you know?
And I love the features because like Joey, Boz, like amazing on BQE, and I've been a super duper Kyle fan since I was like 18. I'm 23 now, so when Kyle came on, I was like, oh, I'm like this shit is dope. And then you got Lupita and Lakeith Stanfield on these interludes, and I was gonna ask you like, you know, because they talk about what everything means to them.
Yeah.
How did you get these two on these interludes? Because those are like, that's like, you know, those aren't just some regular interludes. Those are like some big names.
Well, me and Lakeith have been following each other on Instagram for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and connected. And then my cousin connected us even further, through email. And Lupita, man, you gotta ask Derek about that. Like, he knows, he's the one that set that up, and he set up the Lakeith one too. But as soon as he brought that across, he brought that to me. I was like, bro, we got to make that happen, and he made it happen. And they really killed it. But at the same time, like Lupita and Lakeith, they have powerful voices,
Mm-hmm.
and people want to know what they have to say. They want to hear it. And so the fact that they have so much influence, and the fact that they're actors and not musicians, like fully, it makes it even more powerful, I think.
Right, right. And I noticed that first of all, I have to say that Lakeith's shit like actually made me think. Like Lupita's was really great, but Lakeith was like, to have everything is you're dead. And I was like, oh shit. I was like,
Yeah,
and then he was like, as long as you always have something to like strive for and work towards, like you feel alive and you feel, this sense of accomplishment and whatnot. And that kind of, I feel like from the first listen, that really stuck with me. Cause I was like, oh shit, you're right. Cause like you think like once you get there and once you're on the top, it's like, all right, now what do I go from here? Because now I've already reached the ceiling. And then I realized that you also touched upon that. You're like, oh, you're like, my son will always be here. You know what I'm saying? Even when all this shit's over, and if one day I'm not popping no more, like my son will be here. And that's why it doesn't matter what time of day it is or this and that. Like if I'm with my son in the crib, like that's what I'm doing, which I really respected, because I thought that was like, not a lot of people would say that or do that.
mm-hmm.
So tell me about like how your son has, influenced this project.
Well, he puts everything into perspective,
Mm.
and um, eh, like in that interlude, that's pretty much me answering the question, like what means everything to me. It's like being there for my kids,
Mm-hmm.
being there for the people that depend on me, for my family. Um, and he constantly is inspiring me to do better, to be better, to be more attentive, to be more present. So like he's really the driving force behind the album.
Man, I love that. And I know you pushed the album back. It was originally coming out May 8th, right? And then you pushed it back to May 22nd, and you said that you were going to add some new stuff on the project, make it longer, whatever. So what came before May 8th, and then like what came, what did you add on and who did you add on and whatnot? Like how did this change?
Yeah, I added both of the interludes.
Oh shit, okay.
So we didn't have those before May 8th. I added a song. I added Long Beach to it. That was actually the last track that I made for the album.
Bro,
So,
that's one of my favorite songs off the album. I feel like that was like a great addition.
well, I'm glad. That song is actually one of my favorites too. So I'm
Really?
happy that I actually got time to make that. Yeah, definitely. But we did that. Kyle got on it. Kyle got on the album. I feel like there was more. Oh, Kate wasn't on the album yet. She got
Okay.
on it. Um, yeah, and that's pretty much it. And other than that, I just added some stuff to the production. Made it tighter. Made it sound a little better. And then L10, who's just sick with the mixing, he just kind of put his spin on it and really took his time. Because when I gave him the extra time, he was like, "Let's go." He was like, "This is perfect." So now I could really make it sound how we needed to sound, and we got it to where it needed to be, and that's it.
Bro, how did the BQE come about? Because I feel like BQE was one of like your first singles off the project, and and obviously like the train noises, Joey and Boz, you on the record, and even like the little visualizer you had on YouTube, for it was really dope, and I liked like the concept behind it. So, how did that record come about?
Well, I met Boss when I was in Vegas, and so I'm a fan of him and Joey.
Mm-hmm.
And so we connected, and ever since then I've been thinking about. I've been like, yo, I gotta get Boss on the record. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm not one to like force it. So like one day I was just working on the album, and I heard that sample for BQE, and I put it in, boom, made the beat, whatever. And then when I'm listening to the beat, I'm like, yo, this is the one. You know what I mean? Like, this is the one. But it didn't sound like it didn't sound like just me and Boz. It sounded like something that 3 New York rappers could get on and just completely kill it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and the hook came first, and I was like, yo, we getting on a B, Q, A. And then I was like, boom, so I'm gonna get Joey on the joint and Boz. And because like if you actually listen to the track, it's me, then Joey, then Boz, is because I'm from downtown Brooklyn. You know, Joey's from a little bit uptown, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
so he's on the way to Queens. You know what I mean? Joey is like on the way to like
Oh,
it's like we really driving on the BQE past Bed-Stuy to Queens, you know, because I'm from Fort Greene, Clinton Hill. So boom, we go to Bed-Stuy, then we go to Queens. So it's just like that was the whole concept, BQE. You know
that's
what I mean?
hilarious. And I got a funny story about Boz. I was supposed to interview Boz when I was in college in 2014. I was a freshman in college, and Forest Hills Drive came out, and I went to St. John's in Queens. So
Mhm.
Cole was one of his stops on his tour was St. John's for our spring concert. So Kaz and Omen came to the station, and we started doing the interview. And we're like, "Oh, where's Boz? We were supposed to interview Boz," and they're like, "Oh, Boz is actually down the block at his grandma's crib. He can't make it."
That's crazy.
And I was like, but you can't even be mad about shit like that. But that's just a funny story about Boz, and that's how I kind of first got introduced to Boz's music. Whenever I see Boz pop up on a track, I'm like, oh, I know this shit's gonna be dope. And just that little concept behind it just made that just completely changed how I thought about that record now, because I like the way that you kind of like insert these little things into your tracks, whether it be the sounds or that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that was really cool. And I also noticed that in your videos. Your videos are very they're like a lot of one camera shots, and you know they're very like I said, how I told you that like your music is like really it's like 10 times better than like a lo-fi, whatever you want to call it, hip hop like live stream. And like it kind of felt like I was watching it too, because it's like, oh, you can put this in the background and it's just like it's chill, it's upbeat, it's just like a vibe. Like, why do you do those type of like one shot videos?
I mean, it started because I had no money to do any real videos, you know? I'm not gonna lie. Well, the thing is, I've been a cinematographer slash videographer for like a few
Mm-hmm.
years. Like, I've been probably doing it for like 6 years or something like that. So, uh, I knew how to work a camera, and I knew how to color grade, you know, in like, you know, post and like Adobe and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
so, when I realized that I needed to show my face and I needed videos out, I was like, all right, how am I gonna do this? So I did a video like that. I did my first one was like years ago, and I shot it by myself in my backyard, and I dropped it. Didn't know what it was gonna do, and it ended up like catching fire. You know what I mean? Like I
Right.
put the lyric at the bottom of the screen, and it caught fire faster than any video I'd ever put out. And meanwhile, I was doing videos with like drones and all kinds of stuff. Like I was getting other people to shoot my videos. I was paying people, and so ever since then, I just realized, yo, let the music take the front seat. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
the video take the back seat. You know, because it doesn't matter. The video is to promote the music. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so every video I do, I just put the lyrics at the bottom and I promote the music, which is the job of any music video. You know?
I love that. I love how you started. You're like, well, it's because I had no money originally, and it just kind of like that just kind of went. And it's crazy how it's like, wow, I was paying all these people doing all these drone shots when I could have just like done a simple shot of myself, had some people in the background chilling, and then boom, it just goes from all the videos. And I saw your YouTube page, and I was like, oh, these videos are like they racking up numbers, and he has such this like simple shot, but it works. You know what I'm saying? It's like not everybody can make that happen.
True. That's true.
So how do you feel like because you know you dropped Lyrics to Go Volume 1 this year, right? And how do you feel that you have, I guess that's kind of recent, but in terms of your previous projects, how do you feel like everything is different? You know, what's different this time around than in the past?
I think everything is my most, you know, upbeat project, and it's my most like positive album. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's the most positivity. I don't think I've ever heard any album with this much positivity in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where every track is just boom, I love you. Boom, you're the best. Boom, you're great. boom, everything's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, that's what everything is. Everything is like, yo, everything's gonna be fine, bro. You know? And so like that, I think that's what makes it different than every one of my other projects. And it just like it has tempo, you know, it has so much, it has bounce, you know, that the other ones don't have. You
It's
know?
got like a summer vibe to it too that I really like. It's like a weird mix between New York music and like Cali music, but like I
Yeah,
said, but like it works. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you put these two styles of music together and you're like, okay, this doesn't sound right. It's like, no, this shit like works and it's like upbeat. And I feel like, you know, especially for the summertime, that's definitely something. And right now in general, that's just something that's something that we need, which I fuck with.
word.
So with this project, what else you got coming up with it? Do we have anything else that you could talk about that you got coming up to do with this? Or I know it's tough because you were gonna do gov ball and whatnot, but what could we, I know it's just you just like we both just kind of blank stared away. We're like, we're here now.
We in the crib with it, you know what I mean? Like after I drop this, I think I just want to, you know, there's a few features that I've been wanting to do with some people, you know. I
Hmm.
can't say them right now because it's like so many,
Obviously,
but yeah, I want to work with a few artists that are dope on the come up and that are established. Yeah, and I got some special stuff coming up, but I can't disclose it yet, you know.
got you. So what I ask when I have there are two things I'm gonna ask you. So one thing is every time I talk to a New York artist, I ask them who would you want to work with. I do past and present because you know people like to mix it up. But like so, like let's say like 2010 and before, like an artist who came out before then, and then like 2010 to present. Who are two artists that you would really want to work with?
2010 before that, I think Jay-Z. I'd always want to work with Jay,
Of
you know.
course.
I think if I ever get the opportunity to be in the studio with Jay, I come coronavirus and no coronavirus. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Like,
you if he tells you to wear 3 masks, you
yo,
all right? I'm strapping up. We good.
pulling up. Stop playing. Like, I'm there. You know. But Jay forever, Nas forever. You know, and now I think it would be more like there's so many now. You know, there's so many like dope artists. I feel like. Uh, man, I got to work with a lot of people that I look up to already. Like I got to work with Boss. I got to work with Joey. I think I want to work with some singers. Like I'm thinking like
Okay.
and SZA and Ari Lennox for sure. You
Oh, that would be fire. I can
yeah.
see you on a song with either of them. To be honest with you,
Mhm.
I think that your styles would work well together.
I think so. I think so. I was trying to get him on this one, but you know, everybody's busy, bro. You
Of
know.
course, yeah, we're
Yeah,
busier now than we were when we were outside, which is insane to even talk about.
yeah, maybe next time though.
So my next question I'm going to ask you, and this is more like I want you to talk to the people here. So what I've been having every artist do when I interview them is give a message to like people at home, creatives, your everyday, you know, mother, father, families, whatever, like people who are struggling to be creative in this time. What message would you give to the people out there watching this, fans of yours, whatever? What would your message be to them?
I would say go at your own pace, you know. Don't let what other people are doing make you feel like you're not doing enough, you know? Like if you at the same time don't be lazy, you know? At
Yeah.
the same time, you know? Like when you get that time to work on your craft and work on it, you know? And if you have family and stuff is more important because family is more important, then you focus on that and then you get to it, you know what I mean? Like do what makes you happy, like do things that agree with your soul, you know, like work in a way that agrees with your spirit, and you know, don't work against it, work with it, you know. That's it.
Boom. I love that. Kota the Friend. Everything out now. Let the people know where they can follow you at. Obviously, they know the new album is out now. But yeah, let them know where they can follow you at.
Yes sir, I'm everywhere at Kota The Friend, Twitter, Instagram. That's really all I got. I'm turning into an old head. I don't got TikTok yet, you know what I
I
mean?
can't do it, bro. I can't do it. Somebody was like, get it. And they're like, just put your interview clips on there. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to do that. I'm like, I can't.
It ain't my thing yet. Maybe I'll do it at some point, but yeah, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, find me Kota The Friend, Kota The Friend. That's it.
There it is, yo. Kota the Friend on the radar, man.
All right,
Boom.
yo.